Hey there, it's Garrett here, and welcome to the Sales Funnel Automation Podcast. This is episode number 2, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking about answering objections in your marketing, and some other cool stuff that I wanted to talk about. But if you haven't yet listened to any of my podcast episodes, my name is Garrett Strong. I'm a direct response copywriter, online marketing strategist, sales funnel builder, whatever else names you want to give to what I do. But essentially, I help companies write email campaigns, sales letters, direct mail campaigns, video sales letters, website writing, web pages, anything like that. So I wanted to give you a little background about myself and about this podcast and what I'll be talking about over these episodes. I named it the Sales Funnel Automation Podcast, and for the reason I named it that is because there is a lot of interest out there in learning how to build your own sales funnels that are automated and that produce income while you sleep. And that's really what a lot of the topics that I'll be covering are going to have to do with A to Z, building your sales funnels, all the way from your pay-per-click ads, all the way to your landing pages, to your email autoresponder follow-up sequences, running sales promotions, writing ads for your products and services, and a lot more. That's just what's on my mind right now that I can think of. But if it has to do with marketing, and not just online marketing, but also offline marketing. If it has to do with marketing, that's what I'm going to be talking about in this podcast. So, with that said, I mentioned in the last episode that I was going to be bringing on some guests and do some interviews on this podcast to help you. And the whole reason for this podcast is to help you grow your business, and whether it's online or offline. Helping you grow your business is the whole idea behind this podcast, and it's not a promo fest. It's not a sales fest. I'm not doing these episodes just so I can say, hey, go buy this, go buy this. I will, however, if I do have some free reports and things like that, or some promotions for my own products and services, I'll just let you know about it right here on the podcast. But it won't. I'm trying to keep this podcast primarily informational, so. What I wanted to discuss in today's episode is how to why you should answer objections in your sales copy, and why people aren't going to buy until you answer their objections. We're all the same, and we all have the same concerns before we buy something. People in general have an anxiety about buying, and if you've ever gone to Amazon or eBay and you clicked on the buy button and you got to that last page where you're committing to buy, and you have that moment of hesitation, that's called buyer's anxiety. Everyone has it, and some simple ways that you can get around. If you're selling your own products and services and you're having problems making sales on your checkout page, one way to get around that is by answering an objection. So maybe the objection that the potential customer has is, has it worked for others? Have other people used this and gotten good results with it? So in that case, you would simply put a testimonial on your checkout page. And so, other objections are, am I going to have time? Do I have enough time in the day to really, say you're selling a course on how to do something, and an objection might be, well, do I have time? Is this going to be another one of those courses that takes a month to go through? answering people's skepticism is one of the ways that is one of the things that you have to keep in mind. People are skeptical, and everyone is. Everyone's been ripped off at some point, and everyone has it in the back of their mind that hey, this guy's about to screw me if I give him my money. So there's a lot of ways. So if you're writing an email or a sales letter, a couple things that you want to keep in mind that will really answer the objections of the skepticism that people have. Always offer a 100% money back guarantee. And if you can, if you can get away with doing a 12-month money back guarantee, then do it, because the longer your guarantee, the higher your conversion rates are going to be. And you can get away with doing, a 60 or 90 day money back guarantee. The reason I say do a 12-month money back guarantee is because it's unique. Not a lot of people are willing to extend that, and it really makes you seem like someone who is very proud of what you offer. And the prouder that you are about your offerings, the more trust you're going to build in your prospects. So always offer a money back guarantee. There's just really no way around that. If you don't offer a money back guarantee, you're going to find that your conversion rates are just going to fall off a cliff. I was writing a sales letter for a skincare line. This was back about 4 or 5 months ago, and I was talking to the owner of this skincare line, and I told her, I said, you're not currently offering a money back guarantee. And she responded something along the lines of, I don't offer one because I can't really afford to give people, to be giving people back their money. Or I can't really afford to be giving back people refunds, I think is the way she put it. But I told her, and I asked her, I said, would you rather have 1,000 sales and because you're offering a guarantee, or maybe have a 5% refund rate, or would you rather have 50 sales, or maybe not even that, because you don't offer a guarantee? So it's pretty clear that people won't buy. You and I mean, if you think about it, when you go to buy something, you want to see that guarantee there. So why wouldn't you offer it? So that's the way you need to look at it. So a couple of other ways to answer objections. So when you're writing, if you're writing your own sales letter or you're writing your own email, always be thinking to yourself when you're writing. Always be thinking, yeah, right. Always be thinking what the person reading it is going to be thinking. Always try to get in their heads and always try to say, like, yeah, right, this guy's full of crap. He's trying to pull the wool over my eyes, just like, everyone's always done to me before. And yeah, right. He just made that claim. Can he really back that up? And so that's why it's so important to have proof in your any kind of testimonials that you have. You need to put those on your sales page, because again, if you don't have third party proof of people that have used your products and services with success, you're going to struggle. And another, a big objection to that in itself is that a lot of people are like myself. When I first started out, I didn't have any testimonials, and so what do you do if you don't have testimonials? How do you get that? How do you get that third party proof? So one way to go about it is to do what's called a character testimonial. So if you have people that know you, you might have some friends that know and really vouch for you. You can have them write a testimonial on just you and who you are. If no one's tried your product, then you can have them write a character testimonial about you, just you in general, about the kind of person that you are. That's one way to go about it. Another way to go about it is to run a if you don't have any testimonials yet, is to do a beta test and send an email out to your list and tell people, hey, I don't have any testimonials for my product. So what I'm willing to do is extend you a half price. You can get in on this for half price. All I ask is that you provide me with some testimonials that I can use on my sales page. And you're going to need their permission, of course, to put it on your sales page. So that's another way to go about it. And one more way to go about it is if you need third-party proof, which you should have in every sales letter that you write. If you need third-party proof, then go online and find a good article, say CNN.com, Forbes.com, something like that. Go online, find an article that pertains to what it is that you do. And so let's say that you are a dog groomer and you groom dogs. Well, and you've got this new information product about, how to groom your own dog in 10 minutes or less. And you're looking for go online, like I said, go find an article that is all about, maybe I didn't use the best example there. So let me try to think of another one. So, Perry Belcher, he talks about he's got a hot dog cart business. And so he's got this online course on how to create your own hot dog cart business. So it's an information product. And so what he did was he went online and he found an article from, CNN or Forbes and or the Wall Street Journal, and it was all about how this hot dog cart owner stopped. He quit the Wall Street. He was a Wall Street broker, and he stopped doing that to open up his own hot dog cart business, where he makes more money doing that than he did as a broker. So that's a pretty incredible story. So that alone, if you don't have any testimonials, you can use something like that to really bolster your proof that yeah, what you have can work and work really good to make them a lot of money. So an example that I wanted to kind of give you a walkthrough of answering objections. So if let's say that you're a salesman for a pool company, and you have a lead, so you go talk to this person, face to face at their house. They're interested in a pool, but they're going to have objections. So right there in a face-to-face situation, you have the advantage of being able to answer all of their objections right then and there. So they're going to have questions. Boom, you can answer them. One of the things about writing sales letters and writing emails is that people aren't going to be sitting there asking you questions. They're not going to tell you their objections right out. So what you're going to have to do, and anytime you want to write great copy, you have to list out the objections, list out every possible question that person might have, and answer it in that copy, in the sales copy. Because again, you don't have the benefit of sitting there and answering all of their questions. So let's say that you're at their house and you're selling the swimming pool. Their objection might be, it's going to take up my whole backyard and I'm not going to have a lawn anymore. So you need to answer that objection. So let's say you answer that objection and you say, well, you'll have less grass to mow. So that's one way to answer the objection. You'll be replacing your existing yard with a great way to cool off during those hot summer months. So that is answering two objections right there. Another objection, it's very expensive. Pools are, that's a huge investment. So obviously they're going to have tons of objections, reasons as to why they shouldn't buy. So you can answer that objection of it's very expensive by, it's affordable when you compare it to taking summer vacations every year and the hassle of dropping your kids off and picking them up from the pool every day. And get them to realize how much is your time really worth to you. If you can have a vacation right in your backyard, would that be beneficial to you? So that's another way to answer another objection. Another objection: pools are a lot of work to maintain. That's very true. My mom's got a pool, and I'm glad I don't have one because she's always out there breaking her back, cleaning the dang thing. So that's a big objection that people are going to have. So your answer to that objection could be, well, with our patented auto cleaning pump, you can clean your pool with the push of a button. So no breaking your back with one of those clumsy nets. So that's another way to answer the objection. You get the idea, or at least I hope you're getting the idea. So you don't want to leave any objections on the table. And I mean, if you can answer probably the biggest objection of all is there a money back guarantee? That's probably the biggest objection that you're going to have in all of your sales, because people want to know, are you going to give me my money back if I don't like this? If this doesn't work for me, will you give me my money back? Another big objection, it's probably not as big as the guarantee, but another big objection is people don't believe that things will work for them. So if you have a money-making product and you tell people, hey, I'm launching this new product and yada yada yada, it'll help you grow your business twice as fast as the normal solutions. And so people don't typically believe that will work for them. If you put 100 testimonials up on the page of people that it's worked for, people still don't believe that it's going to work for them. People believe that it'll work for other people. They don't believe that it's going to work for them. So you need to overcome that objection. And simply saying in your copy, this has worked for hundreds of people, and it can work for you too. Here's why, and you need to tell them why it will work for them. So going down the list, pools are a drowning risk for my kids. So answer: we provide you and your kids a full training on proper pool safety. This includes keeping your kids safe from drowning accidents and taking them to the dangers and talking to them. I kind of murdered that. But this is some stuff that I had written down as far as objections go. Chlorine is unhealthy for your skin. That's going to be another objection. Answer: our pools use a saltwater solution to maintain 99.99% clarity. So, always try to think about what your customer is going to object to and then answer those objections. That's kind of the name of the game when you're writing your sales letters. Don't write a sales letter. The first thing I do before I write any kind of sales material is I write down the features and the benefits of what the product will offer. So, if I'm writing sales copy for let's say I'm writing sales copy for an automobile, and one of the features is that it's got power windows. So what's the benefit? That's the feature. That's what it will do. The window will roll down automatically with the push of a button. But what's the benefit of that? The benefit is that you no longer have to sit there and do it the old way, the manual way, where you have to hurt your arm and sit there and crank on it. So that's a benefit, a feature and a benefit spelled out. So that's the first thing that I do when I write sales copy. The second thing I do is list all the objections. So list all the objections, and that way you can answer all the objections, answering all the reasons why they wouldn't buy. So let's see. So just remember to always brainstorm what your prospects are thinking and try to get inside their minds. And I hit on this in the last episode, I think, is you want to try to get inside their minds. And one of the best ways to do this is to imagine your prospect lying in bed at night, and they can't go to sleep because they've got a problem that's so pressing and so urgent that it's going through their mind, and it's just constant. It's constant. Their mind won't shut off. So imagine your prospect. So if you have a product that solves back pain. Imagine that your prospects are lying there in bed, and they're in so much pain, and they're thinking about all the ways that they can possibly get out of the urgent situation that they're in. At that point, your prospect is in a really dark place, and so all they're thinking about right now is will I ever be able to live my life normally again? Will I ever be able to travel? Will I ever be able to walk again? Will I ever be able to, live life with peace of mind again? That's a really good way to get inside your prospect's mind and know them and understand them better than anyone else. Understand their situation better than anyone else can. Let's see. So another thing you're going to want to do in your sales copy, okay, is or throughout your entire sales funnel really, is give people a reason why. So you don't. So one of the things that happens when people contact other people about an offer that they're promoting, maybe they have their product at 25% off, and so they send out an email. And they say, hey, my product for the next, few days is going to be 25% off. Go over here and check it out. That really doesn't give any kind of, it tells people that you're selling to them. So basically that's what you're doing. You're telling people right up front, hey, this is a sales message. This is all about selling. This isn't about, you're not giving them any reason why you're giving a sale, or why you're having a sale. So that's one of the things that you need to do in your copy is give people a reason why you're having a sale. There's some great sales letters that you can go read from, Jay Abraham, Dan Kennedy, that really, really show this off in a really good way. So starting a sales message out like, listen, I had a really bad tax bill that came in recently, and didn't have a clue. I didn't put any money aside for it because I didn't know that the IRS was going to hit me this bad. But now I have a $10,000 tax bill, and so I'm kind of forced to bring in as much money as possible, as soon as possible, so I can pay this bill off. So for the next 10 days, I'm going to go ahead and you can go ahead and take advantage of me while I'm having this tax problem. You can go ahead and take advantage of it. So when you're framing it that way, you're not framing it as, hey, go buy this. You're framing it as, hey, you can take advantage of me while I'm in this bad situation. And, go over here and grab it for half off. You need to give a reason why, and it's called reason why copy, and you always want to give your readers a reason why you're doing something. Don't just tell them, hey, Dean Jackson, if you ever follow him, he talks about the cat and the mouse, and how you want to avoid looking like the cat, and you want to okay, so I probably won't explain it as good as he does, but the cat is, you want to avoid looking like a predator, someone who's trying to sell. And you want to look more like someone who is not trying to take advantage of someone. So, a mouse has one reason to exist, and that is, or two reasons to exist. That is to get cheese, Dean Jackson says, or to get cheese, or to avoid danger. And so if you're appearing like a cat, that's danger. People will run away from that. Mice will run away from that. But if you appear like someone who's not selling, people's sales radar goes down. So imagine that you're walking up onto a used car lot, and the guy approaches you with the slick back hair, and and he's immediately talking in that slick jargon that used car salesmen sometimes use. Your first reaction is to want to run the other way. The same thing when you walk into a clothing store and 5 people come up to you and they go, Can we help you find anything? Can we help you find anything? And what's your reaction? No thanks, just looking. So that's the exact thing you want to avoid being. You want to avoid being someone who is pushy and someone who is trying to make a sale. Because really, you're not trying to make a sale. You're trying to build their trust. Because people won't buy from you unless they know you, like you, and trust you. So you can try to sell, but in the end, you're really wasting most of your time. Because if people don't like you and people don't trust you, they're not going to buy anything from you. So do you like someone coming up to you and trying to sell at a car lot? Or do you just want to go and browse? And do you like someone coming up to you at a clothing store and trying to, sell because they're on commission? No, you don't like that. You don't like the feeling that you get from that. So why would you customers like the feeling that you give them when you do that? So instead of doing that, what you need to do is give. And I mentioned this in the last episode. Right, come up with some really cool stuff that you can give away to people and gain their trust, and just let them know that you're not just out to take their money. You're out to help them. And they are, like Jay Abraham says, they're not your customers, they're your clients. So be their advisor. So that's just about it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you go to, I didn't mention this earlier in the podcast, but if you go to my website, that's www.garrett-strong.com. That's GARRET-strong.com/funnel. I've got a new free report that I'm giving away. It's called The 7 Steps to Creating a $1 Million Sales Funnel. And inside there's some really cool stuff to help you get started building your sales funnel the right way. So if you go to, that's garrett-strong.com/funnel, and go download the report. You're going to really like it. And that's going to be it for this episode, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks.